Hey everybody, Engine Doc back with you again. Got another engine to look at today. We've got a John Deere Model E, 3 horsepower. This is the bigger version. And it's in original condition. We're going to go through it, see what it takes to get it running. It's got a lot of grease, years and years of buildup on it. And we're going to take a closer look at it, open it up, see what's inside, clean out anything that needs to be cleaned, and clean off a bunch of the grease, make a few repairs. It's just needs a little loving. And we'll bring you along if you want to watch. So if you want to learn more about a John Deere 3 horsepower, stay tuned. Well, we'll walk around it here. Actually, I'm rotating it on the table. We'll take a look at it. It's got lots and lots of dirt, grime, grease. I think it's got the original grease on it, so that's a good thing. And somebody's worked on the head. It's had a head repair. Darn nice job too. Somebody's brazed it and cleaned it up real well. It looks great. And we're gonna take the head off of it, check the gasket, check the bore. These springs need to be replaced. We're gonna do that. This one's incorrect, and this one's kind of boogered up, so we're gonna fix those. Whoa, get your sunglasses out. Look at that green mixer. Looks like somebody's replaced that with a rebuilt mixer. We're gonna have to get that. That almost looks like lime green paint, doesn't it? I have to get that paint off of there so it matches the rest of the engine. Just kidding. We'll probably strip that off. The old wood here, it needs to be replaced. One of the skids is collapsed. And I've got some new wood over here. I'll show you that here in a minute. But anyway, this is this corner of it. Actually looks pretty decent. Just needs a little loving. Remind me for one of my next builds, shop builds, to build a turntable, to put these things on and rotate them around. This thing's heavy. Got a cast iron pulley. That's nice. Solid cast iron. There's the back side of the magneto. Don't know if it works or not. We'll check it out too. We'll get the crank cover off of it here. And let me rotate it on around here a little bit. And here's a view of the back side. Now this standpipe here isn't original, I don't think. I think there's just a cap plug goes in there similar to that one for the oil. But this is a first year production. It's got the tag on the back here. See if the camera can pick that up. The later ones had a brass tag over here on the timing cover. 1922, maybe I'll have to check that. So yeah, the old skids are gone, and see if I can get you a shot of the new ones there. Got some new ones there that we sawed out of a big piece of lumber. Ran them through the bandsaw. I'll show you some footage of that here. There you go. There's a walk around, or a spin around, I guess I should say, of the 3-horse John Deere. We'll get started on it soon. Stay tuned. Well, let's start with the crankcase cover. See what we've got in here. I don't think it's been very long ago this gasket's been put on here, but I'm not sure. Get some bolts out of here. There's no bolts in the cover for the magneto there. Let me get a screwdriver. Yeah, that old gasket's old. Real old. That's clean. Real clean. Well, let me bring you down here. Let's get a look. It doesn't look too bad. I've seen a lot worse. Look how thick the skirt is on that piston. Everything in these 3-horses is a lot heavier. Let me see if I can move the slide, get you looking. I look down in here. I'll show you something here. There's a little cup down there. There it is. That little cup where the governor runs in there. Throws oil all over the crankcase on the inside. Looks really good. Really good. Wanted to make sure there wasn't any oil in it, and there's not. So I can turn it upside down now. I'll probably turn it around, get the cylinder head off of it next, and get it turned upside down, get these pins off. We've got, I'll show you when we get under there, we've got to put a fuel tank on it. Okay, I've been working the last few minutes off camera, verifying the timing. And what I've found is the marks here line up. The timing is correct on the exhaust valve when I rotate it, but from what I can tell, the magneto is 4 teeth off. So that'll make a no-run situation on the mag. And also, I can't get the little pins on the side over here of the magneto to engage. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if this will show up on the camera or not, but there's 2 dots right there that line up. There's a dot right here on this gear that lines up with the magneto, but the magneto gear, the dot is over there. So there's 4 teeth off. So that would create a huge problem in running. The valve timing is correct. This gear is not worn too bad. The bushings aren't worn too bad. So we're good there. We don't have the same issues that we had with the 1.5 horse we did here a while back. But it is out of time on the mag. And let me show you the other side here. Okay, I've got a light set up. These little pins, let me stick my screwdriver in from behind. Right there's one of them. Over here's the other one. You use this one when the magneto runs counterclockwise, and you use this one when the magneto runs clockwise. And when the magneto should trip, when it's in time, you should be able to put your finger on that little pin and feel it fall into like a little detent in the rotor in there. And I don't think the rotor is moving. The rotor may be back that way too far to catch those pins. I had to free those pins up with some penetrating oil. But we'll have to look at that when we get into the magneto. The magneto's definitely got to come off of it, and we'll look in there, see what's going on with it. I see a little bit of play. We got you clamped up on a spoke there. I see a little bit of play in the shaft here. I don't know if you may not be able to see that on the camera, but there's a little bit of play there. I suspect maybe a bushing issue in there, so we'll have to go into this mag, see what's going on with it, and at least get it timed correctly. So anyway, before I tear anything down, I always like to go in here and verify the timing, make sure that I know where it's supposed to be. I would have put the timing marks at top dead center, but they're not. They are off a little bit, and but the valve works and operates when it should, closes when it's back at bottom dead center, opens when it's at top dead center on the exhaust stroke, so that's good. The timing marks verify that, so I feel comfortable now with going ahead with the disassembly. I've got a little noise here. It's moaning and groaning. I'm old. I'm old. Sounds like the rings. I've put oil in there, and the cylinder is wet. So we're going to take the head off next and see what's going on in the top end. Get the igniter off. It's got to have a new gasket anyway. So we'll get it off there so I don't accidentally break it when I'm handling the cylinder head. Don't want to do that. Well, I've seen worse. Points are shiny. As I suspected, I think probably after the head was repaired. I don't think the engine's run since then. I think it was just reassembled to keep it all together. It has set for several years. So I'll bring you back and we're ready to pull this off. Take some pressure off that bolt so I can get it out easier. No use having a rocker on here in the way, taking a chance of breaking it and stuff. So we'll get it off there. There's a spring. It's in good shape. That operates the rocker, keeps tension on it. Not a lot of wear here. That's pretty good. Not bad. Yeah, muffler's even loose. Got some carbon in it. You can see light through it, so that's good. Valves are a little rusty. They look new though. I think somebody's put valves in it. We will touch them up too. Set that over here. Yeah, this just dry? Well, it's pitted too and rusty. Pretty pitted in there. Let's see if I can get you a look in there. Clean it up a little bit before I get you in there, because I can't see it myself yet. Yeah, we're pretty rusty. I haven't. I've seen worse. Back in the sweet spot, it's okay. I don't know if I can get you a view in there or not. Let's have a look. Pardon me while I shake you. Yeah. Well, you can kind of see right in this area here, it's a little rusty. Back here, it's nice and smooth, but we'll take care of that. We'll get the piston out and take a look at the rings. Other than that, very savable, very workable cylinder there. And this rod just pulls out. Set him to the side over here. And time for a gasket. Yeah, it's actually broken right here. So, time for a new gasket. And while we got the head off, we'll go in here. This lower passage is full of junk. We'll clean it up. Not bad. I can stick a screwdriver through it. It was flowing. But it's just got a bunch of calcium, usually calcium buildup in there. You just take something like this and probe it out of there and clean it out. You usually find, I feel some calcium chunks up in the drain hole there. We'll look at that when I get it turned upside down. Get it turned around here. And I have determined, after lubing up that cylinder, this noise is coming out of the mag. It's the mag bushings. They're moaning and groaning, so we'll get it off there here in after a bit, but go ahead and get the piston out of it next. And I like to check the clearance before I take anything apart, and that rod feels great. So, ooh, it wasn't tight. Was not tight. That's why it's a good idea to go through these things completely. Don't assume that everything's going to be okay. Just assume that everything needs attention. So I got to be careful when you pull these rods caps off that you don't lose the shims, because that shim pack is going to go back just like it was. And also there's a dot on top. I don't know if you can see there or not. There's like a punch mark there. Same on the rod. It's correct on this one. Yeah, see, the piston's not moving now. It's still making that noise. Let me get this out of here. Then I'm going to put that cap right back on there, so we don't lose any shims, because that shim pack is feeling pretty good. Dropped the nut down in there. I have to get my magnet and fish it out of there. There it is. And I think the piston's got to go out the front on this one. Top ring is stuck. This is loose here, but it's stuck on this side. Middle ring's loose. Top ring is stuck. That's going to cause a huge deal, huge issue. So we'll get this all cleaned up. Get the bore cleaned up. But for now, we're going to continue to disassemble. Scrape some of this stuff off. Uncover the main caps here. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and pull the crankshaft and flywheel assembly. I want to check the main bearings, make sure they're okay. So I got to get this grease off of here. And they were properly tight, so that's good. We need looseness on the main bearing caps. There may be a booger to get out of there, but we will see. Well, there's that much. See if I can pull the engine forward here. There we go. There we are. So I want to set the mains back down in here now. I'll get them all apart later and clean them up. And they do need some cleaning, that's for sure. Fits a little tight, but that'll keep my bearing or my shim pack. Keep my shim pack intact. The mains seemed like they may have been a little loose. It was so greasy I couldn't tell. But once I get everything cleaned up, I will be able to know for sure. Well, we're going to continue on getting this thing tore down. I've got it. I saved you the agony of watching me take these bolts out, these skid bolts. So it's ready to come off the skids. Took the side cover off. Get it over here out of the way. Getting at the mag right now, and I got a little swivel, and these bolts go up through the bottom. I've about got them out. Let's get them out of here. There's a spring. There's a bolt. We'll get this lifted off of here in a minute. Lifted off the skids, I mean. Now these magnetos can get a little fragile. This pot metal can really go away quick. Won't know about this one until I get it cleaned up a little bit. But boy, it turns hard. I'm glad I didn't turn it anymore. Yeah, it needs some attention. I'm going to set it behind me over here on the bench. A little safer back here. All right. And I've got this started loosening up here. Get this standpipe out of here. I understand why somebody put this on here. Makes it a whole lot easier to get fuel in it up here rather than down there close to the base. Actually a pretty decent idea. But it's not original, so it's coming off. My old pipe wrench is not wanting to grip there. There we go. I think it's loose enough to turn by hand anyway. There we go. Fuel filler neck. Not factory. You're supposed to have this little plug like this where you check the oil. That deal. And takes both plugs. Same plug fits both places. Yeah, we don't need these anymore. I'll be replacing them. And I want to get this pin out. Get this piece out here. There's a plug under here. Let's see. 3/8. There's a plug here. Then this pin pushes out from the top. Yeah, there's a spring in there I want to get unhooked. There it is. That'll allow me to pull this pin out now. And allows this piece to come out here. This is your detent for your latch out for the hit and miss action. And then this lever comes off. We'll lay those to the side as well. And that's not bad. A little bit of wear, but they're fine. I'm going to leave them alone. And they're good, good enough. We have plenty of oil going in there anyway. This piece is the governor. This is the adjusting knob. You can't see it now because it's completely covered with grease. But we'll clean it up. Lots of cleanup to do on this thing, but that's what we're going to do. I know you're not close enough to see there, but show you how this is made. Got a fitting. Of course, the copper pipe comes down, comes into this fitting, and this all tightens up and locks it in there. But when you want to service the check ball, there's a check valve down in here. When you want to service that, this big piece comes out and everything comes out pretty easy and allows you to make it around that tight bend there. I want to get that out of the way before we get into the fuel tank here. I don't know if I can turn this around. It's kind of hanging on the crane there. I don't want it to come unhooked. All right, here's the bottom. I don't know if you can see this or not, but whoops. Got some holes there. I don't know if we can, back here there's holes. This used to be a soldered in drain plug. It's gone. So all these bolts are buried in grease. Kind of a painstaking process here. I'll just show you when I get back. There's 8 of them. 7 of them. There's one missing. So let me get all these bolts out. I'll bring you right back. All these were square-headed nuts under here. And you can't get a socket in there. I don't have a socket for a square-headed nut that size, so I had to painstakingly take them all out the hard way. That's okay. Got them all out with these two. Ready? Pull this off of here. This is the base. Get him over here out of the way. We're going to find rust, and lots of it. They're making these tanks now in plastic. I don't know if we'll decide to get a plastic one or go back with the metal. And here's the oil pan. This is the little cup. Now this has, let's see if I can see it. This governor, of course, it spins in here. This has a, yeah, there it is, a little, about a 1/4-inch hole. You probably can't see it there, but anyway, down the bottom, it only lets so much oil into this thing. If this thing was splashing in the full oil bath, it would really over oil everything. These things had a bad tendency of throwing oil anyway, out every little nook and cranny. But this is like a little metering hole, and it only allows it to throw so much. It doesn't throw a whole bunch of oil. But that looks like pretty good shape. I'll have to check it for holes. A lot of times these will rust through too. I'll have to clean it up real good and look at, see if it's got any holes in it. If it does, we'll replace this too. The other one I did, I just made a repair to it. But we'll see what we want to do on this one. Plenty of dirt. So now the block is stripped down. I can wall it around here on the table. I'll probably put some plastic down or some cardboard or something, get all these parts positioned on it, start scraping all this grease and grime, and there's plenty of it, and get it all cleaned up. Let me hand hold you here for a second while I got you. Hang on just a minute. Okay. The grease buildup. You remember the repair on the head. Obviously it had been frozen and cracked. Good news is the bottom of the cylinder is just fine. And I thought I would see a lot more scale and junk in that drain hole there than I do, but that looks fine. So the bottom side of the engine looks great. So we'll just get to cleaning, and I'll bring you back after I've got it all cleaned up. This is probably going to be enough video for this this part, and I'll bring you back after we get it cleaned up and decide what we're going to do with the tank and everything like that. So be back in a minute. So this is a pretty good place to end part one. We've got it all apart. I've got a lot of cleanup ahead of me here, scraping and washing and a bunch of stuff to do, but that's all part of it. And once we get it cleaned up, we'll bring you back for part two. I don't know how many parts we'll have on this one, but whatever it takes, we'll do it. I'll show you, bring you guys along. So thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. So thanks again. Catch you later.